Hello everyone, welcome back. So we're going to start off with butternut squash. We're going to do this Hasselback style with sage and butter. So I highly recommend you get one of these peelers. These things are heavy duty and they can peel a lot of stuff very quickly. So as you can see, it's making short work of this butternut squash. So after the squash is peeled, we're going to cut the bottom off. And then we're going to cut the top off. Okay? And then we're going to cut this guy in half. Okay, so the squash has been cut and seeded. I took just a little bit of olive oil and oiled the bottom of my pan. Now I'm going to put these cut side down into the pan. And I'm going to put in my 425-degree oven for 20 minutes. It's going to start to soften the squash so we can cut it up and make the Hasselback. All right, go into the oven. So the squash is cooked for about 20 minutes, starting to soften up. Because we put the oil in the bottom of the pan, it's not sticking, which is fantastic. And you might have noticed these little contraptions right here. So this is basically 3 skewers that myself and the camera woman glued together. Because the technique for Hasselback is you want to cut, but not all the way through, and it kind of folds open. And then this way you get sauce and flavor and seasoning in between them all. So we're just going to start cutting down. And the Hasselback is a technique. You could do this with olive oil. You can do this with just salt and pepper. You could mix it up. You can do cinnamon and maple, anything that you want, you just make it yours. So we're gonna put this guy back in here. Now it's time to get it back in the oven. If you notice, I have my pot holder here. This is kind of our universal system or signal to let you know that it's hot and not to grab it. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put our butter into the pan, and then we're gonna season it with kosher salt, black pepper, not to worry that it's not going in between right now because we're going to baste this during the cook time. And now for our sage. Just like to kind of smash up my hand there. Makes your hand smell delicious. It's probably going to take about 45 minutes. And then we're probably going to baste it like every 8-10 minutes or so, just to keep it nice and juicy and delicious and great. So into the oven we go. Okay, so my 10-minute timer just went off, so it's time for the first basting. If you got a chef in your life or someone who likes to cook, these spoons are really nice as basting spoons. All right, so you see how the butter's melted? So we're just gonna take some of that and baste it over the squash a couple times. Put it back in and check back in 10 minutes. All right. So we're on our third basting now, and you can see the squash is starting to come apart a little bit. So we're just going to help it along. Fan it out. Nothing too crazy. All right, and then we're going to baste. It's all about that baste. Okay, back into the oven it goes. So if you notice, the butternut squash has absorbed all the butter, which is fantastic. So I'm just going to cut a section off here. Get that on the plate. And our guest of honor is going to have some of the white meat here. Flat Teddy, I hope you're enjoying this. Cheers. Thanks, everyone.